song, and today we're doing an Ask Me Anything while we listen to an album called Dandelion Eyes. So we're just going to start off by listening to the first two tracks, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Here we go.
Grandma said, hey, dandelion eyes, I want you to sing me some songs. I've been working in the garden, sweating and dreaming all day long. So Grandma, these songs are for you. These songs are from my soul. I remember being told, don't waste time growing old, just stay young, dandelion eyes. You see the meek will inherit, while the sensitive will rule. So stay young, dandelion eyes, and just play your heartstrings. Just play your heartstrings loud. Just play your heartstrings loud.
Good morning to those of you popping in. If you want to be a lurker today, all the power to you. If you want to unlurk slightly, Fridays is when we listen to an old album of mine, sometimes a new one, and you can ask me anything. So, Greg, get them going. And I will answer them between songs. So, but first, what the hell are we listening to today? So we're listening to an album that has had many names, that started its life as an album and ended its life as an album and was many things in between there. So I'll probably just kind of like talk about the story a little bit, but here's the general synopsis of this album. I made an album from the perspective of a character named Lonesome, called Lovely. And I kind of enlisted some of the members of some of the bands that I played with. It was this kind of like little super group that later, after this album, became the Family Jewels. I went by Uncle Nancy, and this album Lovely was the kind of genesis point of that band. Before we became the Family Jewels and started doing what we called Gypsy Pirate Blues, which is way different than this kind of sound, I started writing the sequel to Lovely, which was Dandelion Eyes, which is what my grandma called me when I was a kid because I had this weird pigment thing. And I think it kind of started as one thing. It just started as like taking the character of Lonesome, instead of having him look at just one person, kind of looking at love in general and how it works in a non-romantic way. And then over the years became me kind of translating what my grandma taught me when I was growing up. And so that's ultimately what this album became. But then the Family Jewels went off. This is over the course of like 10 years. The Family Jewels went off in this whole other thing, and we did this more kind of like acoustic punk thing. And I would like write these songs, and we'd always talk about doing this album sometimes. But then the band broke up, and I retired from music. And the only music I did for a few years was kind of like poke at these songs and write some new ones. And then it became a band with two friends of mine for like about a year. And I just had a band called Dandelion Eyes. And then that lineup changed a whole bunch. And then eventually I moved back to the coast. My sister and I always talked about starting a band that was more like the Lovely stuff. And so we started a band with my buddy Dan and with Ernie and with Spud. And that's who's on this record. And everybody sang everything. That was a big defining thing. And it kind of became a community around the band, around rehearsing every weekend. And then I moved to Portland. And right before moving to Portland, we made this album. And it was originally called Found in Translation by Dandelion Eyes. Then Kirsten and I, so Dandelion's first name was Dandelion Eyes, and then became the Land of Dandy, and then Dandyland, and so that's this. And the first thing that I ever gave to Kirsten when I first met her was this album, and there you go. Okay, we're gonna listen to another song, and then I'll answer some questions.
When I was a young dandelion-eyed boy, I asked my grandma where God was. She just smiled and said, everywhere. I thought about this for a moment. And then I asked what God was. Love was all she replied. And then she smiled and said, now do you see what I just told you? Love is everywhere. So when you feel alone, know that you are not without love, because it is everywhere and in all things. Now possibly God is too abstract a concept for you to grasp right now, But children live closely to love, so perhaps this you will understand. Let love into your heart. Choose to follow love and share the good news of love everywhere you go. And when your heart breaks, it's okay, because it makes space for growth. So plant a seed of love in that space and grow a flower. Take that flower into the world and find others to plant a garden with. Water that garden with love, and brighter days will seek you out.
Boom. Okay. So that's God is Love. So before we get on, there are songs on this album, and then there are these kind of spoken word things where all I did was take parts of other songs on the album and loop them, and then read a bunch of all of the spoken word things are actually Facebook posts that had some sort of correlation. I like went through my whole Facebook feed, because sometimes I do that on Facebook, not so much anymore. I would just kind of like write a poem or write a story quickly. Okay, questions. Also, if you're watching, ask me anything, and I will answer it. What was your first ever paid job? So my first ever like official, like I paid taxes or whatever. Maybe I didn't because I was a kid, but filled out forms, was Dairy Queen. But I mean, my grandma and my dad a little bit, mostly my grandma, really instilled a really good work ethic. But I was never really good at like physical labor, like at all. But I always did that shit since I can remember. Because I wanted things like comics and music, and there was only one way I was ever going to get it, which was by working. So, my first ever paid job was probably babysitting. That was definitely my entrance into making money for doing things, because I was always good with the kids. And my worst ever paid job, well, okay. So I was in between, let's see, I would have been like 24. And I was on what I used to call burnout break. Like I had saved up money and I was doing nursing and I didn't need a job. Didn't really have anything to do. And my buddy was like, we're looking for people at McDonald's. And so I did it for like a week or 2 weeks. And I remember my manager telling me that I'm cleaning too much, which was odd. But that was like the worst. I mean, fast food is the worst, especially for an autistic person. No autistic person should ever have to work in fast food or any customer service thing ever, unless it's something to where you like kind of have to control. Like client relationships, like maybe some people on the spectrum are good at that, but I don't think anybody on the spectrum should be subjected to working in fast food, like at all whatsoever. But those were my first jobs because a poor white dude from the coast of Oregon. So like my options were military or fast food. That's most of the dudes that I know. They still do that shit if they didn't get out. So I kind of took the third option, which was like vagabondage. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Ask me anything.
Oh, Sally, can you come out and embrace the day?
I love the little laughs at the ends of Tiff and Dan. So most of the vocals on this album are me, my sister Tiffany, and not my brother, but the brother Dan. And so Dan plays Wash Tub. So let me just tell you a little bit about this song and these humans, these beautiful humans I made this beautiful thing with. So I met my sister Tiffany. My sister's not my biological or even stepsister. She is a foster sister, because my musical mentor, Mr. Tom Nichols, who gave me a tambourine when I was a kid and taught me how to play the blues. He took me in when, I think I was freshman year in high school. That's a whole long story we don't need to talk about right now. But so he became my foster. Him and his wife Ruby became my foster parents. Lots of music, lots of comedy all the time. And he had, I think Tiff was 3 or maybe a little bit older. I think I met her when she was 3. She might have been more like 5 or 6. Then I'm not sure. But we were very close very quickly. Music and silliness, which is what my relationship with her father was based around, definitely became our thing. And when I was touring I hadn't seen her really much in a couple years when she was in high school. And then kind of randomly ran into her at a show. And we started hanging out again hardcore and started playing music because she, of course, was all about the musics. And she actually joined the Family Jewels for about a year as the percussionist. She's playing cajon. And a lot of these songs, this is one of them. During that time, we used to sing a lot. And there's a couple tracks on this that we used to sing a lot. One that we kind of wrote together. This song is the oldest song on this album by far. And I wrote it when I was working with Alzheimer's, and the opening line, "Hey Sally, can you come out and embrace the day? Hey Sally, can you teach me how to smile the pain away?" Sally was a real person who had cancer, had dementia caused by brain cancer, and she taught me a lot. She taught me a lot about dignity, and being proud to be you. A woman would come out with her walker and her lipstick all smeared, wearing like 20 scarves, just strutting like the queen of the fucking universe. And she's fantastic. So I wrote this song for her, and she was the one when I completed Lovely. So I wrote this song actually during the time that I wrote Lovely. And she told me to leave. She told me to go out and share my music. And I did. So I always used to say that when people were like, "Well, what made you decide to take music full time?" And I said, I took the advice of a 76-year-old demented woman and quit my job and quit my life and went on the road. That really happened. Okay, the last movie that I saw. So I don't really watch. I haven't watched any TV really in well over a month. You know what? Okay, yeah, totally. Kirsten and I watched The World's a Little Blurry, which is on Apple TV, and it was fucking incredible. It's a documentary Apple made about Billie Eilish, who I love and adore, and even more so after watching that movie. Okay, so... Sorry for stalling. How many pairs of shoes do you own? 2. It's usually 3. I don't currently have a pair of boots, but so I have some Nike sneakers. I don't like that Nike wins in my life, but they do because my feet are weird and they're the only shoes that don't fall apart. And then I have a pair of flip-flops and usually a pair of boots because it's Oregon. Those are I feel like everybody has those 3 shoes in Oregon. You got your sneakers you wear most of the time. You got your boots that you wear more than probably any other region. And then my flip-flops that are just house sandals because it rains all the time. And then Elisa, can you tell me how to pronounce your name so I don't feel like a jackass? Okay, Alyssa said, recommendations. So I'll do a recommendation and then continue asking me questions. My favorite food. See, I'm reading ahead. Okay, hold on. Netflix recommendations. First of all, I have to say this because I am such a fucking Apple fanboy. If you have bought an Apple device in the last year, you probably have 3 months of free Apple TV, in which case you should do that. If you have a smart TV, there's a good chance Apple TV is on there. It's only $5 a month, but you get a free trial. Apple TV does not have nearly the selection, but oh man, wheezing. Sorry. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna. Some people mute the mic when they cough. Not me. I put reverb on it. So I will say that literally everything on Apple TV is perfect. Their documentaries are perfect. If you're a flamboyant, raging feminist like I am, you will love I don't remember the name of the show. It's about a talk show. It's got Jennifer Aniston in it, and it's amazing. And Dickinson is really that is before anything on Netflix. Literally anything on Apple TV. And I think I'm going to have to think about it during this next song, and I'll get back to you. My favorite food is macaroni and cheese, because autism. I'm pretty sure everybody on the spectrum, if you get them to talk long enough, they'll mention macaroni and cheese. Okay, so here we go. Speaking of my sister, I wrote this song with my sister. Okay, we'll talk about it after.
I fell in love with the Queen of Hearts, but I'm just a court jester that don't finish what starts. And the more
that I love something, the more I'm afraid for it to fall apart.
oh the love, let's get late. It's 3 a.m. No, you don't wanna fall in love, but tonight let's just pretend that I'm Romeo, you're Juliet, and our love has no end. Stay the night. I just wanna wake up and see your eyes staring back at me. Stay the night here in my heart. Stay the night. I just wanna wake up and see jester that don't finish what it starts. And the more that I love something, the more I'm afraid for it to fall apart. Oh my love, let's get late. It's 3 a.m. I know you don't wanna fall in love, but tonight let's just pretend that I'm Romeo, you're Juliet, and our love has no end. Stay the night. I just wanna wake up and see your eyes staring back at me. Stay the night in my heart. Oh, here in my heart. Oh, here in my heart. Stay the night. Everything's gonna be alright. I just wanna wake up and see your eyes. Everything's gonna be alright. Stay the night. Everything's gonna be alright. I just wanna wake up and see your eyes. Everything's gonna be alright. Won't you stay the night?
Good morning, Pepe. Good morning. Is it Rachel? Is it Rachel? Oh my God, people, help me speak words right. Okay, that's Stay the Night. Gosh, I love that song. I wrote that with Tiff when I think she was like 17. I don't think she was. No, she's 18 because she was out. She was like playing music with me all the time because she's out of school. And it's just so cool that we got to record that later, being in a band. But boy, does Dan add a lot to that. So Dan was a fan of my band, Uncle Nancy and the Family Jewels, and friends of like a whole bunch of friends of mine. First time I met him was outside of a bar after I did a show, and he had seen me before. This is the first time that we were interacting. He was excited. He was a little, drunk or whatever. And he was like giving me all these praises. He's being amazing and really kind. And I was like, hey, I want you to tell me your name and do something weird and memorable. This is what I used to tell people all the time. So I don't forget you, because I am terrible with names and terrible with saying them and remembering them. And he just like looks at me, and I just remember he was covered in sweat. It was like a summer night in a bar, and he just kisses me on the lips and says, I am Daniel Donovan. Turns out I actually knew some of his family, and like we were from the same place out in the boonies. But he used to, like, there's a few times where he would just like get up on stage and just scream, sing with me at a show, especially if it was like a smaller show. It was cool. And I remember I kept on asking him to come up more. And then when we started this band, he actually started on a drum because he's a percussionist. And then we had to fire the bass player because it didn't work. He was kind of a douche. And for Dandelion Eyes. And so we just built a washed up because I love washed up basses, and it just requires you to have a good ear. So if you can sing, you can play a washed up. Okay, so how do you handle the nerves of performance so you can be your best true self? Asks Dusty Bubbles. This is that's a tricky one. I don't really. I just do it. You just do it. You just keep doing it. That's it. And then it eventually goes away. But I think probably the big answer is like, so here's the deal. Anxiety about yourself, okay, is just fucking stage fright. Stage fright is just anxiety about yourself. So the first thing you need to do is get the fuck over yourself. Then and one thing that helps with that is just presence. And what I mean by presence is just saying, this is a thing that is happening, and not trying to say, here's why it's happening, here's what I can do to stop it happening or to make it happen. Just say, this exists. Just validating the thing. So if you have stage fright, just saying, I have stage fright. I am nervous. I have nerves. And then I'm going to do it anyway. And because really what you're asking is like, how do you be brave? That's what you're asking. That's when you're like, how do you deal with the nerves? It's bravery. It's boldness. This is why, by the way, like, and you have to teach that, or have it taught to you. It can be taught to you by society for sure, because we teach men to be brave and bold all the time and have not done a good job of doing that with women. Thank God that is changing. I love beautiful, bold women. The more, the merrier. It excites me when young women are taught to be bold. And that's really what it is. It's boldness. And I was very fortunate to be taught boldness. Here's a problem with boldness, is that it's really close to stubbornness. And so there's going over the other, there's never having stage fright, right? And just always being like, doing it anyway, even when it's inappropriate. Okay, that's a little bit of ranty rant. Reverb coughs, auto-tune sneezes. All right, we're going to listen to this next one, and then we'll get through some more questions. Let's make sure I said hello to everybody. Okay. I scrolled through and thought that it said beautiful bald woman. And it's bold, obviously, because I was just talking about that. Okay, anyway, here we go. Here's another spoken word thing. This is a cool story. For me, most people are like, why does it end so sad? Because life's sad, bitches.
Let me tell you about Sam, the impatient man. See, Sam lived his whole life underground, never seen the light of day. Every day when he woke up, Sam would spend most of his days digging tunnels, hoping to find something different and beautiful. One day, Sam found his way to the surface and bathed in the sun for the first time. Sam wept at her beauty and danced in her light. As night approached, Sam grew confused and angry that the sun was leaving. "Come back," he cried. "Don't you know I love you?" The sun just kept moving away. Sam chased after her, but he could not catch up. Soon the night came and darkness covered the surface. With sadness in his heart and anger in his eyes, Sam tunneled back underground, never to return to the surface. But don't be like Sam. Sam was a fool. What Sam was too impatient to learn was that the sun always comes back. Sure, she may leave you, but it's only to share her light. She is a giving soul. But a wise one uses the night to rest and take care. And oh, how sweet it is when she comes back around.
All right, keep them questions coming. We're going to just go to the next song. Ask me anything.
Here we are, our time has come. Back around like the setting sun, and you are the sparrow in the tree. Wild and curious, hardworking and free. Sparrow in the tree. much more I would tell you, but I won't be using words. Oh, Emily, oh, Emily, intermission's over, now we can begin acting. Emily, oh, Emily, it's nice to look into your eyes and see how you see me. It's nice to look into your eyes and see how you see me. Sparrow in the tree, here we are, our time is come back around like the setting sun, and you are the sparrow in the tree, wild and curious, all working and free. Oh, Emily, oh, Emily, intermission's over, now we can begin acting. Emily, oh, Emily, it's nice to look into your eyes and see how you see me. It's nice to look into your eyes and see how you see me. Emily, oh, Emily, intermission's over, now we can begin act free. Emily, oh, Emily, it's nice to look into your eyes and see how you see me. It's nice to look into your eyes and see how you see me.
That banjo, though, that's Spud. And Spud, so I was talking earlier about like how I met my sister and her Faja, who taught me a lot about music. Also taught Tiffany a lot about music. It was like a really cool moment to like play this album for Tom, because also Spud was the same as me. He gave Spud a tambourine when he was like really young, so that he would learn how to get into the pocket, and always encourage Spud's multi-instrumentalismness. And Spud had never played a banjo before. He's a really, really good guitar player. And I was like, well, just go get a banjo and tune it like a guitar and be the banjo player in this band. And he did. And it was fantastic. Okay, so we could play only one instrument. What would it be? That's why I grabbed this. Okay. This is my baritone uke, which I'm playing on this album. And it's the best of all the worlds. And it's a quiet instrument. Which I like, but I can play it. It's just basically a guitar without the low two strings, but it's also, you play it exactly like a ukulele, you know, so. But also you can tune it. So I actually taught myself how to play banjo on a baritone ukulele. So this is, to me, this is like, so like these two things, right? Oh, I can't really see it because it's all in black and white. But so my iPad mini and my ukulele maxi are what Kirsten calls Goldilocks things for me. So like they're just right. Like I like I like to use a phone. I like to use a big iPad. If I have to choose between the two, I'll choose an iPad mini. And same thing with this. And then, I was going to sing one of Gray's ridiculous questions instead of answering it because there's really no answer to it. Have you ever... There we go. Have you ever noticed... Wait, hold on. Where did it go? It went away. Have you ever noticed? Oh, so many comments happened. That's why. Okay. Oh, I think I saw Brad. Good morning, Brad. Example. How many countries have you visited? None. And okay, talking about mac and cheese. If there's no mac and cheese in Europe, why would anyone go there? I used to want to go to Europe. So here's answer your question. I haven't been anywhere. I would like to go to England until today because apparently they don't have mac and cheese there. So fucking no wonder you lost the war, bitches. Fuck. Figure your shit out. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, I can't find it. I'm just gonna say, have you ever noticed apples ain't got sweaters? Have you ever noticed apples ain't got sweaters? Don't go to Europe 'cause they ain't got mac and cheddar, and apples don't wear sweaters. Okay. Shabam. All right, next song. Shut the hell up, Joey. Play the music.
I'm ashamed of my generation. My heart is heavy with the weight of the world. I'm ashamed of my generation. My heart is heavy with the weight of the world. 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 Oh no, who are we? What the hell happened to integrity? Nobody stands the ground anymore. I got 1 foot in and 1 out the door. Well, you took your time to help yourself, then you left your brother down in a well. And then I
Heard a whole generation say, do what you want, get what you want. But it's a lie, you gotta do what you can, get what you will. Do what you can, get what you will. You gotta put in work, you gotta put in work, you gotta put in work, yeah.
I'm ashamed of my generation. My heart is heavy with the weight of the world. I'm ashamed of my generation. My heart is heavy with the weight of the world. 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 I'm ashamed, I'm ashamed, I'm ashamed to believe it. I'm ashamed. I believe, I believe, I believe I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to believe it. I'm ashamed. I believe I'm ashamed.
Oh no, who are we? What the hell happened to integrity? Nobody stands the ground anymore. Got 1 foot in, 1 out the door. Well, you took your time to help yourself, then you left your brother down in a well. And then I heard a whole generation say, do what you want, get what you want. But it's a lie, you gotta do what you can, get what you will. Do what you can, get what you will. You gotta put in work, you gotta put in work, you gotta put in work, yeah. I'm ashamed of my generation. My heart is heavy with the weight of the world. I'm ashamed of my generation. My heart is heavy with the weight of the world. 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 With the weight of the world.
I'm ashamed to believe it.
I'm ashamed.
I believe I'm ashamed.
I'm ashamed.
I'm ashamed to believe it.
I'm ashamed.
I believe I'm ashamed.
Boom. Yes, you can find this on Spotify. It used to be a Dandelion album, and now, as of like this week, it's officially a Joey Helpish album. So I'm moving things around. So if I'm singing, you can find all my stuff under my name. So yeah, Dandelion Eyes by Joey Helpish. It's on all the things. There's another one I thought. Okay, I think I gotta go. I have to find a better system for answering questions. I think I will do that, but I better deal with my problem.
It's gonna work out.
I better deal with my problems. Check it out. Okay, here's so this actually is not a Facebook post. This was a letter that I sent to a friend who was doing really horribly, and her name may or may not have been Emily, to answer your question before. Okay, so
It's gonna work out. As long as you stay strong, have integrity, and slay your dragons. Deal with your problems. Don't cover them up with selfish things or fake smiles. Weather the storm. Surround yourself with good people. Help others and tell no one about it. It's the best kind of secret to keep. Cherish alone time, but know this. We are not meant to go it alone. You cannot slay many dragons all by yourself. Someone must have your back or evil will sneak up on you. But don't settle for any fool with a shield and a sword or some clan of barbarians. Be the warrior that attracts another hero.
boom. And to answer your question in more depthily, who is Emily? The reason I wrote that song is because that's not the reason, but okay, here's all I have to say about that I want to say publicly about Emily currently is in that song. I don't want to be like mean, and there's probably bitterness in me, but moving on. Dragon Slayer.
They say nothing lasts forever. It ain't simple, you should run away. Oh, but I say you should stand your ground and prove 'em wrong anyway. Because the hard part is the best part. When you're telling a story about the dragon you slayed, and the hard part is the best part. When you're telling a story about the dragon you slayed. And oh, I once the rain came crashing down upon you, and you tried so hard to keep it back. Now you're just swimming. Now you're just swimming. You better keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. You will drown. You better keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. You will drown. They say if you love something enough, then you should learn to let it go. Oh, but I say you should nurture it and give it stable ground to grow. Because the hard part is the best part. When you're telling a story about the dragon you slayed, and the hard part is the best part. When you're telling a story about the dragon you slayed. And oh, I once the rain came crashing down upon you, and you tried so hard to keep it back. Now you're just swimming. Now you're just swimming. You better keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. You will drown. You better keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. You will drown. You better keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Well, keep your head up. Keep your head up. You will drown. You better keep your head up. 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 You will drown.
Yes, I did play this yesterday on the strum. Is that? Yep. Boom. Okay, cool. This is the end, although I might play a song or two after this. Keep the questions coming. We got a song or two left. Cool. So let's listen to the end.
Just before I went on my first tour, my grandma taped a picture of herself to my guitar. She said I would never go hungry or feel alone as long as I kept her near. And so I did, and she was right. Now, maybe just a coincidence that years later, I got a new guitar and I did not put a picture of her on it. And I fell in some pretty hard times, but anyone who had the privilege of knowing that woman knew the words she spoke had tremendous power. When she began growing too old for this world, I wanted to take care of her in her final years. We fought and we cried and we laughed, and it was beautiful. One day she asked me if I still remember the song that I wrote her when I was 13. I shrugged my shoulders and just shook my head. But then I played her some of the songs you just heard and told her I was working on a new project based around things that I had written about the wisdom that she had given me over the years. She reckoned I didn't need her picture anymore. She told me to share what she taught me. So I have, and I will continue to. Before we go, until next time, always follow your dreams. But sometimes you have to look at them a little different. Sometimes the meaning is found in translation.
Shaboom, a kiss. Okay, so I want to play at least one song off of the sequel to this album. So Dan and I made essentially a very similar type of album, except it was just us singing, a little more of the emphasis on the wash tub and the ukulele, and also Gray, if you want to learn the ukulele, I know a guy. Holler. So yeah, let's listen to that and then I'll answer the last question. So now's your chance to make a comment or a question. Speak now, forever shut the hell up until Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific when we come back for the Sunday Strum. I may or may not have some guests. They're coming through. Should be fun. So yeah, ask now, forever shut the hell up. Okay. This is Rebel Maybe. Okay, I lied. We're going to listen to two more after this.
I can't run from
It's another one off of Wayward Vacation. This one's called Smile and a Shovel. Like I said before, this is just me and Dan singing at the same time. I love the blend of the voices. Also, each of us have like 4 takes each.
Well, the more that I learn, the less I feel I have accomplished. And I'm constantly striving, forever diving in the darkness, between being ripe for the harvest or just another carcass. My mind is the most conscious, my life is the hardest. They say that consciousness is just constructed science, which we have eliminated. Theories within humans, defiance, lies, alliance with God and the devil. And I'm standing over the earth with a smile and a shovel. 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 Singing, won't need my maker or my destroyer. I will meet myself and I will destroy her. Well, I'm ready to dig into the dirt or to reach a high level. Yeah, I eat of the decay fruit until my stomach's full. They say that consciousness is just constructed science, which we have eliminated. Theories within humans, defiance, lies, alliance with God and the devil. And I'm standing over the earth with a smile and a shovel. 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 Singing, won't need my maker or my destroyer. I will meet myself and I will destroy her. They say that consciousness is just constructed science, which we have eliminated. Theories within humans, defiance, lies, alliance with God and the devil. And I'm standing over the earth with a smile and a shovel. A smile and a shovel. A smile and a shovel. A smile and a shovel.
Smile and a shovel. Yeah. Okay, I got one more to play, and I'll say some shit before we do that because I'm just going to leave right after I play this. First of all, the best advice that I ever got was to serve the song, to get out of the way and be of service to art. And I have been translating that into life, to be of service to life, to this life that I'm constantly creating for myself and others. So that's the thing. I live stream every day except for Saturdays, which is this is the second time I'm doing this. And it ends up, it was a good call. But Saturdays I take off. Other than that, every day I live stream at 9 a.m. Pacific. Sometimes I just randomly don't show up. I try to make that, as few as possible. But that happened this week where I just wasn't feeling it and didn't do it. But for the most part, pretty consistently, 9 a.m. Pacific every morning. And yeah, so that's that. And then I'm going to be trying to do some more live streaming at other times coming up, but I kind of have to wait for this term to turn over in the next week, so then I kind of know where my new spots are. All right, so I'm going to play Dear Future, which is a song that I wrote while I was drunk outside of a bar, and I just held up a camera and just ranted at my future self. And then I later took those rantings and I basically song therapied myself. Okay, here we go. Dear Future. All right. So I hope you have a badass day, buddies. Thank you for coming around and hanging out with me today. And I love you. Here we go.
Dear future, this is your past. Don't be such an idiot. Don't be such an ass. No one's out to get you, and it's not your fault. Stop picking at old wounds, bathing them in salt. Oh, 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 what a world this is. Oh, 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 what a world this is. Dear past, I apologize. Sorry that I hurt you and that I told you lies. I think that I'll be fine now, figuring out what to do. I'm still afraid of the future, almost as much as you. Oh, 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 what a world this is. Oh, 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 what a world this is.
Bye, buddies. Thank you. Peace.